all that now, how the world just confuses everything associated with love. Everything is flipped. And they didn't really know what love is. So the Lord just had this, share this with us. We just want to talk about this is love. And so he took us to this scripture for our foundation. 1 John chapter 4 and verses 7 through 11. And he starts off by saying, Beloved, let us love one another. For love is of God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God. For God is love. And in this the love of God was manifested toward us, that God has sent his only begotten Son to the world, that we might live through him. And this is love, not that we love God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. And so this is just as important that God is revealing to us who he is and who we should be in him. And so we want to share what we'll call this morning the 5 Q's associated with love. So Q number 1 is this. It's questions on love. That's the first thing. What is love? Do you love me? How I know you love me? All those things are always that question when we were kids. You used to have a little rose petal. You love me. You love me not. Like the rose petal was going to make a difference. And so sometimes if the petal ran out of leaves, we pick up another one and start over again because it didn't give us the answer we wanted. And so let's just talk about this. So we talk about questions on love. That pertains to requests that we make or information that we want to know regarding love. It deals with an evaluation of love from a secular point of view and a scriptural point of view. So you have to look at it. There's 2 different views of what love is, the world and the word. And so, from a secular perspective, Lord led us to this. Said there was a Yale professor and psychologist, and he studied all of this. Named Robert Sternberg, and described love from the secular viewpoint by talking about what he said was his triangular theory of love. And he proposed that there are 3 components of love. And notice, even though man studies certain things, it always leads right back to God. God, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And so, based upon his studies and based upon his theory, the 3 components of love are passion, which means the appetite, it's the desire, it's the hunger for love, it's the hunger to love. And there's intimacy, which means caring and closeness and being confident of love. And then there's commitment, which is assurance, dedication, and the promise of love. And so the first part, when he talks about that, he says you have these 3 forms of love, but there's a possibility that a person won't attain and utilize and express all of them. It may be 1, it may be 2, but it's rare that they have all 3. And so he said there's what we call a consummate love. And this is a form of love that is long-term. It's strong and it's unconditional. When they start saying the consummate worker, the consummate person, that means you can depend on them, you can be dedicated to them because they're going to be there regardless, no matter what. And then there's fortuitous love. This is often present in what they call tumultuous relationships that proceed quickly and end disastrously. So it's driven by passion and commitment without intimacy. And you see a lot of that nowadays when you start talking about domestic violence. You see these people say they had these whirlwind romances. One minute they was crazy about each other, and then the next minute they just went crazy. And so it's the whole thing where you can actually tell what that person is dealing with and what form of love they're dealing with. And then there's companionate love, which is familial love that involves deep intimacy and commitment. So you're talking about the love that family members and families have for one another. Then he said there's romantic love. And this love involves deep passion and intimacy. But it says it's missing or low on the commitment component. So this can develop from such a relationship. So just because there's a romance, there may be passion, there may be intimacy, but unless the commitment aspect comes into it, it never really comes to be full and what you want to know as a loving relationship. And a lot of times when we talk about Steve Harvey, we always say the 90-day test and this type of thing. And in his book he would talk about different things. They would talk about passion and intimacy. But when it comes down to commitment, when they start saying, oh, well, can you be committed? How long were you in a relationship? Well, I was in one for 2 months. I was in one for 2 weeks. Well, how many relationships have you had that have been long-term relationships? Well, most of my relationships are 2 to 3 months. You know they keep saying relationship, but it's not a real relationship. It's just a fling. And then they talk about this. So there's empty love. Commitment without passion or intimacy. He said this is often seen in long-term complex couples who describe a missing spark. It's like they say, we're just here. I love them, but there's nothing to it. And so they're not doing anything to renew it, to refresh the commitment and the love and the relationship that they have with one another. And then there's infatuated love. This is the love driven by passion only. It's used to describe someone who has a crush. I have a like and I have a fondness or I have a partiality for you. They used to call this puppy love. They tell children when they first come up, they say, oh, but I love them. Baby, that's not real love. That's just infatuation. They say, yeah, you love them today and next week it might be Bobby, next week it'll be Robert, next week it'll be somebody else. And so it's just based on a passion only kind of thing. Scriptural perspective of love is this. And it's based on basically the Greek terms because of the studies of it and how it conveys what love is. And from that standpoint, they look at love from 4 perspectives. Agape love, filial love, or some say filio. Then they say storge love. And then there's eros. Agape love. This is the one we always talk about in Scripture that God has for us and we ought to have for one another. It's an unconditional love that sees beyond the outer surface. It accepts the recipient for whom or he is or whom she is, regardless of their flaws, their shortcomings, or their faults. It doesn't matter what goes on, they're going to love that person. If they have an incident or an accident, if something goes wrong, they're sick, if they're down, their love does not change. They continue to have that love for a person. It's a love that everyone strives to have for their fellow human being. And this is what Jesus was talking about, agape love. We have to love one another, love your neighbor, love your enemies, love yourself, love God. That's what he's talking about. And then he talks about this. It's a love that's all about sacrifice as well as giving and expecting nothing in return. And that's the one thing you always go, well, what have you done for me lately? And I'm giving you love, but how are you going to reciprocate that love? In a situation where there's agape love, we know that's what God is dealing with because a lot of times we don't return that love to him the way we should. But he loves us anyway. And then it's a love that's demonstrated by behavior towards another person. And it's a committed and chosen love. It's not a love when you say it. It's a love when you show it and demonstrate it. Then there's filial love. It says that it deals with an affectionate, warm, and tender platonic love. That means love without physical attraction. And this is the one where a lot of people say, well, men and women can't be in a platonic relationship. Something has to go on. Well, yeah, they can be in a platonic relationship and still be friends and love one another. But that's the world that tries to make it seem that way, that this can't exist. But it can exist. It says it makes you desire friendship with someone. It's the kind of love which livens up the agape love. In other words, it can start out as friendship, but it can develop into a different type of love. It says you may have an agape love for your enemies, but you may not have a filial love for the same people. I mean, you can love the person, but you do not like the person's practices. You love the sinner, but not the sin. That's what that is. God loves the sinner, but he does not love sin. And so that's the whole thing that you're dealing with. When people say, well, I love my child, but I just don't like my child sometimes when they're doing it right now. And so that's the whole situation when you see see a parent will do whatever they can do for their children, and they'll love them all the time. But they'll tell you, I love you, but I don't like you because I don't like what you're doing. And so that's what you're dealing with in filial love. Storge love is this. It's a kind of family and friendship love. It's the love that parents naturally feel for their children. It's the love that members of the family have for each other. It's the love that friends feel for each other. And so it's a friendship and family and fellowship love. This friendship love may turn into a romantic relationship. And the couple in such a relationship becomes best friends. And so a lot of times you see people say, well, we can be good friends, but we just can't be in a relationship with one another. Because it's not designed for us to be in that type of relationship. It's unconditional. It accepts flaws and faults. And it ultimately drives you to forgive. And that's why they talk about a friend. When you're a person, a friend that sticks closer to the brother, you have a true friend. Even though you may do things wrong sometimes, that friend is going to be willing to forgive you for it. And that's different. I can't, that ain't a friend will always say, I got your back. I know you got your flaws, but I still love you as my friend. It's committed, it's sacrificial, and it makes you feel secure, comfortable, and safe. And a lot of times you hear people say, well, just being around that person makes me feel better. I'm not afraid around that person. And a lot of times when people have friends that they have this type of love for that person, when they're feeling threatened, they'll call that person to come just to help them feel better. That's the kind of love you're talking about when you're talking about a familial love and a friendship love. That's Storge love. And then there's Eros love. That's where we get the word erotic and erotica and those type of things. It's a passionate and intense love that arouses romantic feelings. It's the kind that often triggers high feelings in a new relationship. And it makes you say, I love him or love her. And that's the thing. And notice, it used to be, people would say, I love you, if they didn't mean it. But now you got the situation where they say they play us, they playing the game. They'll say it, but they don't mean it. And so that's the thing you have to understand. When you're dealing with Eros love, people will say whatever they think is going to make you feel better. Whatever you want to hear, they're going to say it. It may not last unless it moves to a notch higher because it focuses more on self instead of the other person. When you have a situation like this, it's all about the person. It's all about how that person feels. It's all about what that person wants to do. It's all what that person wants to say. And they really don't take the other person's feeling into consideration about anything. It's all about them. If the person in love does not feel good about their relationship anymore, they will stop loving the partner. And so it's like, well, I don't love you no more. Well, in that situation, they really didn't have a love for the person. It was just a desire. It was just a wanting. It was just a yearning that they had. They really didn't want to have a relationship with that person. Cue number 2 is the qualities of love. And we talk about the qualities of love. We talk about behavior. We talk about character. We talk about traits. We talk about the personality of love. These are the traits and characteristics of love. Scripture. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. Love does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. And so people start talking about, well, I fell out of love, or I lost. And just like if you say, well, I almost lost my religion, that means you never really had it. Yeah. And so it says this about the qualities of love, and this is important. There is no fear in love. Dread does not exist. You're not worried about, well, do they really love me? You're not sitting in a situation where there's true love. People not checking the phone to see who called. Can I get your password to your Facebook and to your Twitter? Who using your phone? Why I can't use your phone? That's a mistrust, and it shouldn't be that way. It's full grown, complete, and it's perfect. Love turns fear out of doors and expels every trace of terror. think about this. Whenever Jesus dealt with his disciples, when Jesus dealt with the people, they said he always looked upon them with compassion. Whenever the people were fearful, whenever the people were worried, the first thing Jesus would do is say, "It is I. Be of good cheer. It is I. Be at peace. Do not worry. It is I. Don't fear. There's no need to fear. Don't fret." He takes the fear away. And so that's how you know when you're dealing with God, you deal with the devil. If you're in a situation where you are fearful and you're scared and you're not getting the relief from that, that's Satan. But when you're in a situation where you should be fearful, but God gives you the spirit when you're calm and you're at ease, that's God. Love does no wrong to one's neighbor. It never hurts anybody. It doesn't plot, it doesn't plan, it doesn't scheme to do anything about hurting someone. And so that's when it took me to this way. It had the song, a popular song. It's my love hurts. Love, no. But that was a rock and roll song saying whenever you're in love, you hurt. This is the thing that happens. Love takes away the hurt. But when one of the people or one of the persons leave and don't display love anymore, that's when the pain comes. It's lack of love and not having love shown is what causes the pain. It's not the love being shown that causes the pain. Cue number 3 is the quantification of love. That means this. It pertains to the coverage, the extent, the magnitude, the range, and the scope of love. Scripture. Bible says this. Love covers all sin. Didn't say some. Love covers all sin. Jesus, I'm going to the cross because I love you. And by that love I'm displaying, I'm going to cover all your sins. Whoever pursues righteousness and unfailing love, this is what the Bible says, will find life, righteousness, and honor. You want life, righteousness, and honor? Have love. You want all those other things? You want loss? You want righteousness? You want dishonor? Hate. And you can tell the difference. Magnitude and extent. For God so loved, God loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. I love you so much that I'm going to give you my Son. My Son loved me so much that he's going to give his life. Notice what Jesus said. You notice the Father said, "This is how much I love you." The Son said, "This is how much I love you." Greater love has no man than this, than a man lay down one's life for his friends. Notice he didn't call them enemies. A man laid down his life for his friends. Everybody that Jesus died for was not a friend of Jesus. But Jesus viewed everyone that he died for as his friend. You notice the difference? And so, in that loving relationship, you're my friend, you're not my enemy. This is what it says in the scripture, Romans 8:28. They go right back to it. And we quote it, but we sometimes think we missed the one thing about what it says. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Whatever it is, you love God, God said, "I'm going to take care of it. I got it. I got you. Don't worry about none of it." Just like Joe said, what you meant for bad, God took it and made it good. It doesn't matter. Everything. That's how powerful, that's the range, that's the scope, that's the extent of the love that God has. He says all things work together for you when we love one another. And when you love me. Doesn't matter what it is, it's going to work out for the good. It may look bad, but it's going to work out for the good. It may seem bad, but it's going to work out for the good. Cue number 4. Quintessence of love. Quintessence pertains to this. It's the purest extract and essence of love. It's fully total. That means it hasn't been concentrated form. They have to weaken it. Because if they give it to us in a concentrated form, it'll do more harm than good. And so notice when it talks about this, it is contained in love properties in its most concentrated form. It's the essence, it's the embodiment, it's the epitome, it's the personification, it's the soul, it's the heart, it's the perfect example of love. Portrait number one of this. Love is from God. That means love springs from God. Where does love come from? God. Who is love? God. It says in this, the love of God was made manifest and displayed where we are concerned. In that God sent His Son, the only begotten and unique Son, into the world so that we might live through Him. God loved us so much that He says He doesn't want us to die. He wants us to live. Satan, on the other hand, wants us to die. He don't love us. He has no love. The other thing the Scripture says, and this is love. Not that we love God, but that He loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation, the atoning sacrifice for our sins. He loved us so much, He didn't want us to die in the sins that had. Adam and Eve put us in a situation where He said, I can't let you stay in the Garden of Eden, because if you stay in the garden, you're going to touch the tree of life. If you touch and eat from the tree of life, that sin that you're in, you will be in it forever. So I'm going to put you out, and I'm going to put an angel of God to root the way that you can't ever get back into that garden. But I'm going to send my Son to fix it, so you won't have to worry about going to the garden. He's going to fix it. So those sins that have been covering you, those sins that have placed you in a position of death, He's going to get you out of that. He's going to free you from that situation. And He's going to allow you to come back to me and live with me once again. That's what He's doing. That's because I love you so much, because He loves you so much. Second portrait, still dealing with Scripture. But God demonstrates His own love toward us, and this is key. And that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. A lot of times when we come up and we make a mistake, I got to get myself straight first. Ain't gonna happen. If man could have fixed himself, Jesus wouldn't have had to come. Because we couldn't get it straight, we messed it up. And because we couldn't clean it up, Jesus came and fixed it, even though we still was in that mess. The more people say, I was in sinking sand, He pulled me out, put me on the side of the ground, cleaned me up, turned me on the right road. He did it. Because God said, y'all can't do it. You messed up so bad. You can't get yourself out of this. Same situation. Keep thinking about this. When you get yourself stuck and you keep spinning, if you don't know what to do, the more you try, the worse you get stuck. It takes the coming along with someone who has the ability to pull you out of that situation. Even though you're still stuck, they come and get you out of it so that you can move forward. And that's what the Lord does for us. Then He says this, yet in all these things, here we go, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. He loved us so much, He made us conquerors over the sins and the things that come up against us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. No matter how high, no matter how low, no matter how wide, you can't separate us from that love of God that He has for us. It can't be done. That's the way the situation is set up. Cue number 5. Quenching of love. The Lord said, test the spirit. That's what it says in the first part of that chapter. Test the spirits. And all the spirits ain't Holy Spirits. And so He looks at this. The quenching of love pertains to this. Authenticate it, confirm it, prove it, and verify that it's love. That means this. Determine whether it's a longing or lust dressed up in love clothing. Remember Jesus about the sheep and the wolf in sheep's clothes? It's the same thing with love. People can come dressed up, looking like they love him, but they're not loving at all. And so this is when you deal with, you talk about that. Lust has as its focus pleasing oneself. And it often leads to unwholesome actions to fulfill one's desire with no regard to consequences. No matter what happens, lust don't care. Flesh don't care. Just wants to be satisfied. Doesn't care that it's going to cause problems. Doesn't care that it's going to cause issues. Doesn't care that it may cause death and situation. Doesn't care. That's the way it is. Lust is about possession and greed. Lust is artificial. It's counterfeit. It's empty. It's fake. It's heartless, unfaithful pretense of love. It sounds like love. It has the words of love. It gives the motions and the indications of love. But when you look at all under it and test it, you find out that's not what it is. Scriptural effect and evaluation. The scriptural sentence and effect of fake love is what God says. For lust is a shameful sin, a crime that should be punished. It is a fire that burns all the way to hell. It will wipe out everything I own. Know who said this? Job. And everything he was going through, Job had an understanding of what lust was. And so he knew this. Satan said this to God. The reason why Job loves you and the reason why Job does what he does for you is not because he loves you. It's because he loves for what you gave him. Yeah. That's what the devil told God. What Job had for you is not a love for you. It's a lust for the things you've given him. Take away those things that you've given him and he'll stop loving you. That's what he told him. That's exactly what he told him. And so that's why the first thing he did was go after the things that Job had. Yeah. He went after the things. Then he said, well, the only reason Job really loves you is because you gave him no children. That wasn't love, that was love. He went after the children. Yeah. And then after this he said, well, you've been good to him. He had never really been sick. Everything he wants, you've given it to him. Yeah. Take away his health. Take away everything else. And I'll show you, he don't love you, he just loves you. He don't really love you, it's just a thing. And in the midst of it, Job says in this scripture, he understood that there was a difference, that he didn't have a lust for God. He had a love for God. And he knew that if he had a love for God, a lust for God, it would take away everything that he had. And he would lose everything that he had. And so that's an understanding that he had. And so the scriptural evaluation and the verdict of fake love is this. And this is the part that most people, I think, they just don't fathom. They don't look at it. They say all these things. I love everybody. Or I love God. You hate everybody else. I love God. I'm a good Christian and I love everybody. But you don't love these people. You don't love the strangers. You don't love the immigrants. You don't love the people who need assistance. You don't love the homeless. You love God, but you don't love them. Then what he said. If someone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. Now, that's God. That's his word. He says, but he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen? You've never seen him face to face, but you say you love him. Yeah. But the ones you see every day, you can't stand, you hate. You want to get rid of, you want to run away, you want to wipe out. But you say you love God. God says you're a liar. God says you don't love me. And so he says, and this commandment we have from him, that he who loves God must love his brother also. So you had to come, oh, I love God, but I just can't stand people. God said you're a liar, you don't love him. You're throwing his name out there because you want to get network with people, you want to impress people to make it seem And so we conclude. Important thing you have to remember. Nothing linked to Satan and his subject pertain to love. I haven't seen anywhere in Scripture where Satan says he loves anybody. Think about it. He never mentions love. Love never comes from his mouth. Never comes from his mouth. And so, you can't, and this is the thing you have to say. So, never lean toward, never listen to, never link to, never look for anything or anyone associated with or partial to Satan, his schemes or his seductions, to know about love. Won't know it. Can't do it. Satan and his subject cannot learn anyone how to love. They can't give instructions on love because they are loveless. Simply means this. They don't commit to you. They only covet what you possess. Think about it. Most of the time when people said they had somebody, they thought they loved me. I thought he loved me. I thought he loved her, whatever. They said, but all he wanted was what she had. All he wanted was what she had. He didn't really love her. And you hear that a lot of times. And that's why they tell a lot of times, they say this to the young women and to the young men. If somebody come in and they talk to you, and they talk about all the things they have, they put a bill, making 6 figures, 7 figures, and all of this. But after about 2 or 3 weeks, they come to you, can you lend me $100? What you mean, give you $100? You making 6 figures. Can you get a loan? My money kind of tied up right now. Can you go and get this loan for me? I need about $5,000 to keep my business going. That's counterfeit. That's devil. That ain't God. This is the other thing you have to remember. They have not, they do not, and they shall not sacrifice themselves for anyone. They will not cause themselves to suffer any expense, any detriment, any disadvantage, any loss for anyone. They have not, they do not, and they shall not martyr themselves, ransom themselves, or become anybody's scapegoat or victim. Satan never said he died for anybody. Think about it. He'll talk about what God wants to do. He'll try to say, well, that really wasn't Jesus on the cross. But never will you hear Satan say, look, I'll die for it. I'll take that pain for it. Satan ain't gonna tell nobody I'm going to hell for you. You won't do it. You won't do it. Know what love does and what love does. Love does assist. Love doesn't attack. Love does better. Love doesn't matter. Love does commit. Love doesn't cheat. Love does confirm. Love doesn't confuse. Love does delight. Love doesn't discuss. Love does extend. Love doesn't expire. Love does heal. Love doesn't hurt. Even though the song says it, love doesn't hurt. Love does lift. Love doesn't lower. Love does do well. Love doesn't do worse. If they keep, I'm going to do better, but they keep getting worse and worse, but I loved it. That's not love. And so this is what we want to conclude with. Let the love of God be your foundation, your function, and your fulfillment. 1 Corinthians, when it says this, talks about the Scripture. And Paul said this. If I can speak in the tongues of men and even of angels, but have not love, that reasoning, that intentional spiritual devotion, such as is inspired by God's love for and in us, I am truths and mysteries and possess all knowledge. And if I have sufficient faith so that I can remove mountains, but have not love, God's love in me, I am nothing, a useless nobody. Even if I dole out all that I have to the poor in providing food, and if I surrender my body to be burned in order that I may glory, but I have not love, God's love in me, I gain nothing. Amen? And so, unless we have the love of God in us, working in us, that's why the song says, I don't want all of my labor to be in vain. Only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Christ will last. And Jesus talks about that. He said, that day is going to come, God going to separate the sheep from the goats. He's going to raise the same question. He's going to say, well, Lord, didn't we, see the ghost, Lord, didn't we feed the poor? Didn't we go visit people in the hospitals? And didn't we go to the prisons? And didn't we do all these wonderful things in your name? And Jesus going to simply say this: depart from me, you works of iniquity. I never knew. But for the sheep, he's going to say, he's going to tell them they did these things. And they will ask the question. And notice the difference? They will ask, well, Lord, when did we see you hungry? And when did we see you out of doors? And when did we feed you? And when did we clothe you? And he said, when you did it to the least of these, you did it to me. Come on into the kingdom and receive your reward. You good and faithful slave. I know you can fool some of the people, but you can't fool God. Amen? Amen. So